MissMalini, and look who's here today. We have Purab Kohli in the house. You're looking really good.
Thank you.
Marriage is suiting you. Daddyhood is suiting you.
Married,
You have a little
married
girl.
yet. Not married yet.
Not married yet.
Not married.
Do you have a little girl?
We have a little girl, yes.
Oh,
We have
sick.
a beautiful little girl called Dinaya.
How wonderful.
Yeah,
How does it feel? Is it very surreal?
No, it's not actually. I mean, surreal in the sense, of course, you don't expect you to become. You become something else when you have a child something in your arms and that belongs
You're
to
like,
you.
this little person is mine.
Yeah. And this is such a strong sense of belonging. Like whenever my friends have had kids and I go to see them, even like months later, always a little, tentative about holding the baby and you drop the neck here. But as soon as Anaya came, just like it was full confidence.
I'm still
taking your hands
petrified
and,
of
wow.
babies, so
But
this
have
always
you
makes
all-
me feel better. Yeah, fingers crossed, that makes me feel better. So Airlift is out, getting great reviews. How does it feel? What was it like working the film?
Superb, yeah. Especially also, the director of the film is Raja Menon, who's my first director that I worked with. In 2003, we did the film together. And I think, moreover, I feel really happy for him for what he's been able to achieve with this film. I saw the film myself last night. I hadn't seen it because I was with the baby in London. I came in last week and then I've been busy shooting with Rock On, so I hadn't seen the film. So just last night, they had a screening and I went and saw it and I came out of the film and I was like, wow. I was not expecting this.
So what's your role in it for the ones who haven't seen it yet?
Yeah, so I played this character called Ibrahim Durrani, who's, like so many Indians, lower middle class Indians working in the Gulf, earning the big dinars or
Sending the money home.
Sending the money home. So he's one of those guys, works in a supermarket chain, and when the war breaks out, there's a need for food, and Akshay's character, who's the protagonist of the film, so he's essentially, the film revolves around him and goes through his eyes. You see it through his eyes. He comes in contact with Ibrahim and he's looking for food for the people who are piling up that he needs to take care of, and then how Ibrahim becomes one of his core team players to help in the evacuation. And Ibrahim has his own story of trying to find his wife, who's a nurse who's gone missing as soon as the war breaks out because she's gone to duty to hospital, calls her in, and then he can't find her, so he's constantly searching for her through the film.
When you do movies like this, is it very does it put you in context? Like our lives are so different.
It's so different, yeah.
It's crazy, right?
Also, we were shooting in Russell Khaimah, which is, Russell Khaimah?
No.
Yeah, nobody
No
used to
idea
know
where
Russell Khaimah. It's amazing because you hear of Dubai, you hear of Sharjah,
Yeah,
you
of
hear of Abu
course.
Dhabi, they're the big Emirates. But there are 4 others, there's Fujairah and there's Umar Khain and there's Russell Khaimah is one of them. And it's a small little emirate, as big as from here to Bandra. So it's really a small little town with very few people in beautiful beaches, really beautiful beaches, which is where my baby was conceived also while shooting the film. Nice romantic setting.
Nice.
Just the setting, because we of course were in Arab world, and then you had this art director who put together such a realistic setting for us to be shooting that film. You really felt like you were in some war-torn place, and these deserts and the backdrop and this eerie feeling of something may go wrong.
Yeah.
Also, Yemen was under attack at that point of time while we were shooting, so that was in the news. It was quite something actually, being a part of Airlift and being on those sets and seeing what all goes on in Raja. If you see the film, it looks really quite realistic. The war looks really realistic.
I've always wondered that I've met Akshay Kumar a couple of times, and you always think of him as this really macho, like this guy who's really just all ready to do action, and Nimrita's this girl. What was it like working with both of them?
Well, Nimrat and me didn't have too much to do together. I think we just in the climax really together, where with all the actors, all the characters, everyone come together at the end of the film. But Akshay and me had lots of stuff to do together, and he's really an unassuming star, In fact, I remember the first day I went to shoot my first scene with him, and there were other actors also present. It was a scene with about 4 or 5 of us, and so we went in, and I walked in. All the actors were coming in, getting ready. Me and Ninad is one of the actors also, and Ninad and we were coming in together, and suddenly someone from behind comes and says, "Hi, I'm Akshay."
No way.
Yeah, really?
You're like, what? That's crazy. I love it when people are like that.
Yeah, so he's really unassuming. He's, considering he is a big star, he's been in the business for 25 years, been part of so many big films. And you're seeing him also do really flamboyant stuff on the screen, and then to see him first of all to hear that he's accepted to do a film and produce it also, which is Airlift, and the script that it is, because if you've seen Raja's work, it's realistic and very different from the
Is it a
larger
bit like
five.
Argo? I heard that it's got some similarities.
Well, yeah, people have. I've read some of those reviews
Yeah.
also where they've said something to the effect of that gives you the feel of Argo. And yes, you can, because in Argo also he's trying to get those
That whole
journalists.
rescue-ish, yeah,
that
exactly.
kind of setting. But I think you're seeing the frustrations of him also as someone who believes that he's Kuwaiti. So the film starts off with him dissing out India and saying that
Yeah. That's the
रिश्वत देना पड़ेगा, ये करना पड़ेगा, business करने के लिए यहाँ पे मैं रह जाऊँगा, that kind of stuff. And then how it turns around for him also, and his frustrations of seeing that everything that he's built in his entire life, gone abroad, believes he's this person, and suddenly it's all taken away from him. And the only reason he's still alive is because he's Indian, and nothing else. Yeah. So the film is it's really quite interesting, and to see him play that part. So first, him accepting the film, I asked him one day, I said, how come you're doing something like airlift? And he looked at him and said, इसको मैं भी commercial बनाता हूँ, देख ले. But I think
only Akshay Kumar can do that.
But I think Raja's got the better of him and really made him do something which, I won't be surprised if he goes out and wins lots of the awards for best actor this year.
Wow.
He's done such a great job. Really outstanding performance by him. If you see the film, you will agree with me.
I know, I can't wait. I'm going to go see it this weekend. But the movie I'm really excited to watch, Rock On 2
Rock On
is
2.
coming.
Yes,
How is it getting back with everyone?
Oh, it's been great, yeah.
Yeah?
It's been really good. 8 years. Yeah, 2008 is when the
You
first
look
one
the
released.
same.
Really?
Yeah.
White beard.
But what's the story? What happens in Rock On?
I'm not going to tell you what the story is,
Tell me
Malini.
something.
No way.
I'm so excited to see
It's too
it.
soon to tell you too much about the film, but I'll tell you that it's a real sequel. Trust Excel to do that. In the Indian film industry, you see lots of sequels being made, but most of them have no context to the first one.
Yeah.
It's just a name. It's got elements. It's got the lead character, and it's a completely different story.
Or it's like a ridiculous porn com, not naming anything.
Yeah.
So, just like in there.
Especially on the same release date.
Exactly. Oh my god, crazy. But I heard that Hip Hip Hooray is coming back. Have you heard anything about
Yeah, I
that?
read about it too. I don't know. I don't know any information because I think they're doing it with the new.
With the whole new cast?
I think so. It's
Okay.
they're doing a 12th grade again, so I think it's more current.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it would
I
be
haven't
amazing
got
if
any
you guys.
contact with it
You should
again.
go back. Like Beverly Hills, they made all the students the teachers. That's always kind of fun. But would you go back and do it if they asked you to play a role?
I don't know if I mean, depending on what role they
Or a
offer.
cameo or something.
Yeah, but I definitely would like to do something on it. It's
Yeah.
such a prominent part of all our lives, I mean, and not only people who acted on it, even an audience that grew up watching it.
Yeah, like the band of boys was here just now, and it was so surreal, right? It's just like
Yeah.
you thought some quirky, and I think somebody singing their songs, and it's like them. So what were the shows
I was
you
really
loved?
quite surprised.
Yeah, right. Because I remember when I lived like way back here, I used to watch shows like Nukkar, and,
Nukkar,
So what were the shows?
Actually, Malini, I was in boarding school, so I didn't get, I didn't watch too much TV while I was growing up. But of course, Nukkar, we've got tapes and we watched. Panegi Apni Baat. That was much later though in the day.
Remix, I remember.
Chaya Beat. Chaya
Wow.
Beat was.
We're showing our age now, huh? We better stop.
We better stop.
So how did you meet Lucy?
How did I meet Lucy? So I know Lucy for a long time actually because she and my sister went to school together, John Hopkins in Italy, one of the international campuses, and that's how I know her. So I've known her for a few years, and we actually started. She came to Bombay 2 years ago in January and stayed with my mom for a long time.
Okay.
She's someone who was in the corporate world, quit her job and wanted to become a yoga teacher, so she came to
Oh,
train
wow.
herself to India. So she was traveling through India for about 4 or 5 months and stayed in Bombay for a month.
Yeah.
And that's where it really started off and picked up. But of course she lives in London, so there was a long distance sort of thing that was a connection that was going on for a while. And then in October of 2015 is 2014 is when my sister got married, and she came here for a good chunk of time, and then that's when we started taking it seriously. And
Wow, it's like out of the movies at your sister's wedding.
Yeah. Make a film of my
I think
sister's
so.
wedding.
At your sister's wedding. I think it would be a huge hit. So Valentine's Day plans, what are you gonna do?
Working for Rock On. Spending my time with my lovers of Rock On.
Oh my
Arjun,
god.
Rapa and Farhan.
That's another way to do it, which is amazing. So do you have any advice for new fathers? Because that's the new generation. Are they doing diapers? Let's be honest.
Actually, videos.
A question, yeah.
Okay, people are asking, can they ask questions?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead and ask your questions. We'll wait for you to send those in. Now, what happens next after Rock On?
well, the Sense8, the second season. Have you seen Sense8, the first one? Do you know
Yes,
Sense8?
yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't
So,
seen
okay,
it.
so let me tell you, Sense8 is a series on Netflix. Netflix
Okay.
has just come to India, so that's quite exciting. That because the first one released last year, nobody really saw it in India,
Yeah.
but when you go abroad, everyone just loves that show. It's a lovely show done by the Wachowskis,
Yeah.
the guys who did The Matrix. Now women who did The Matrix because Lana's a woman now. And fantastic series about 8 characters living in different parts of the world and how they connect telepathy. Or I mean, they're almost
That's
like
right,
evolved,
yeah.
evolved beings that just come into each other's lives. So this one of the 8 characters is in Mumbai, and that's played by Tina Desai, who's an actor here in India. And she's one of the Sense8s, and then she has a whole life in India, and I play her love interest in the show.
Oh, cool.
So that's pretty cool, and they're doing season 2 now, so we shoot that also.
How cool. It's so cool that these shows are, coming here now, because we were like binge watching Game of Thrones and things like that.
And especially it's exciting to work with these guys, because I mean, you've all seen The Matrix and been blown away by it.
Yes.
It was one of the films I saw when I.
That's the one they never made an Indian version. Go ahead, what's the question?
Okay, Shruti's asking, if not an actor, what would you be?
If I was not an actor, I don't know, it keeps changing every year. I mean, I started off wanting to be a pilot actually, not an actor. So I started wanting to be a pilot, but now when I think of it, I fly around so much, I'm sick of aircrafts. I don't want to fly a plane ever again. So definitely not a pilot, but I've been trying to write something in the last year. So maybe writer now, I don't know, let's see. I have to first complete something.
Another one. What do you think of Will Smith boycotting the Oscars?
Oh, Will Smith is boy. I didn't even know that. So what do I think of it? Well, lots of the awards are questionable nowadays. Award ceremonies are questionable nowadays. So I guess he'll definitely start a trend of people. I mean, looking for an authentic sort of award ceremony, Real
Yeah, it's
award.
hard to, we've been seeing all these nostalgia stories where someone offered Shah Rukh a chance to buy an award and all this drama happened. So, yeah.
We have a question. A lot of love for you for Hip Hop Hooray, and if someone wants to know who is your favorite actor, who do you look up to?
In India, Bollywood.
Tell us both.
I mean, both.
Both, okay. I'm quite fascinated by Christian Bale. I think he's quite an amazing actor. Just to see what all he goes through. When you see The Machinist and you see, what was that, The Fighter? That was The Fighter that he did?
I
it
think
was
so,
called The
yeah.
Fighter, yeah. And then you see him in Batman. And I think he's one actor, whenever I see him in different roles that he plays, he looks so different that he doesn't just, physically he changes so much that he kind of just becomes somebody else, you can't recognize him from one film to the other. And I think in India, very few actors I don't think any big actor actually does. You see them you see a Shah Rukh Khan or Amir Khan. I think that Indian cinema demands that also.
Yeah.
The audiences want to see the star more than an actor do things. And even in Hollywood, you see Tom Cruise as Tom Cruise in most of the films that he does. So, Christian Bale, to answer your question, I'm rambling away. As you know, I have been a VJ for many years.
That's the gift of faff. People always ask, go ahead.
Gift of faff. Maybe I should come in for a board meeting.
You should. I know my God, be amazing.
Shruti again, what's the hardest role that you've ever played?
The hardest role I've ever played. I think Nigel in My Brother Nikhil. That was the hardest role for me. It was also at a time that when we did that film, there was not so much talk of homosexuality in India. There was no talk of HIV or AIDS, and especially in Hindi cinema. And then to understand that character and what he goes through, and I think that one, and there's one villain character I played in, and that was pretty easy actually.
Villains are always fun, right?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But it was very demanding because it was an over the top loud screaming sort of villains. Right? It was like just draining. By the end of the day, I used to get really tired playing him.
So, yeah, go ahead.
What's your dream role and why?
Again, changes all the time. I think sometimes I get offered scripts and I say yes to them also, and it's the same if you're playing a part that you've already played before. get a bit bored of it. Dream role right now, I think I want to do some action sort of film. I've never done action actually. Everyone looks at me as this chocolate boy. It's really annoying. And something
I love
very
that
hard
chocolate
and
boy term. That's amazing.
yeah, it's really irritating,
Yeah,
man. I've been
right?
getting it all my life. It's like so boring.
Chocolate boy. Amazing. Okay, so we have to wrap up now. But do you have a piece of advice because Valentine's is around the corner for good
Valentine's Day
boys?
is
What can they do, and should they do something?
I think it's the new age. It's the age of the woman. So the women should do things for the boys now.
Ooh.
Where the boys sit around and
The boys are gonna love you for this.
the boys should get flowers. The boys should get PlayStations, not flowers.
Yeah, I was like flowers.
New cars.
New cars. Wow. All right. Last
What's the
question.
most cheesy Valentine's Day message you've heard?
The most cheesy Valentine's message. I don't get too many Valentine messages from fans. One person who regularly wishes me on Valentine's Day every year is my mother. It's the first
Oh,
message I get in the
sweet.
mornings. My mother sends me Happy Valentine's Day, darling. Sometimes she sends me flowers, and I feel really bad that I'm not
That's
wishing
so
her or
cute.
sending her something.
This year you must remember.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a
Yeah.
fact. Thank you so much for being here. It's so
Thank
great
you,
chatting with
Manvi.
you.
Yes.
Cannot wait for Rock On 2 and everything else coming up. Sensei, what is the version of the show called here?
Sensei.
It's called Sensei. Okay, perfect.
Like.
And subscribe. All right.
And subscribe.
Thanks so much for being here. In case you missed any of this, remember you can catch it on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, one of those, Periscope. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.